Tuesday, everyone. It is time for Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Kristin and Tina. All right, I'm Tina Prigge, Vagabond Creative Studio. I got it right. This is Kristin Odell, KLO LLC. We're back in our right spots, so I've got my pointing down. Kristin, good morning.
Good morning. That was super weird. Hey, look at Steve. Steve is with us right away. Steve, you're so timely. I'm so impressed.
Yeah. Well, hello, Fond Du Lac. Good morning, Steve. Thanks so much for joining us.
Here's a fun fact. Right after I finished college, around the time I was beginning my career, I lived in Fond Du Lac for 5 years.
Very cool.
Yes.
Some cool things are happening in Fond Du Lac. As a matter of fact, I just heard a news bite yesterday that Fond Du Lac is actually going to be paying people a relocation bonus, like a $15,000 relocation bonus, because they're trying to fill so many, they're trying to recruit so much talent for all of the open positions.
Who is paying this said bonus?
It sounded like part of it was the city, and part of it, 50% of it would be reimbursing the employer. Oh. I don't know all the ins and outs. It just I was kind of like, wow, that's really a unique twist on trying to fill the gap.
Sure. Steve, I see your question. I lived very close to Marian University in a condo in my younger years. It was really fun. It was fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Steve, you should tell us, if somebody is going to visit Fond Du Lac, give us a quick little itinerary. What are some must-sees, some places that a person must visit? Is there something, that we must eat? Speaking of eat, Kristin, this is totally unplanned, you guys. This is hilarious. Kristin and I both brought visual show and tell treats this morning.
Sometimes I'm in awe about how much we channel each other without knowing it.
I know. Kristin, I don't run into somebody as much as I run into you, when I'm out and about, at the county fair or whatever. And then that we've been doing this for a year and a half. This is the first time we've ever both brought treats. I wish, my friend, that I could share this with you.
I know, right? Here you go. Do you want a bite of the Cool Whip?
Yeah. So this is a kolache. So the last 2 weeks maybe, we've been talking about kolaches. Maybe we should just eat breakfast before we do this show, Kristin. But so last week, Kristin, you shared a picture of some cheese kolaches among some other varieties that you made, and they look delicious. So my mom made these cheese kolaches and shared them with me.
I love it. So have you traditionally eaten cheese kolaches?
I have not had a cheese kolache in years and years and years. Typically it's cherry or poppy seed or sometimes applesauce are the ones that really stick out. I can't remember the last time I had a cheese one. So this was totally inspired by you.
So I see that one does not have a bite out of it. Have you tried a cheese one already?
Yes. Sorry. I can't even admit on air how many of these are already in my belly.
I love it. That's perfect. I think that's a great way to start the day.
And you last week, Kristin, on the kolaches that you shared, you talked about this crumble that you had on top.
Yes.
Apparently, according to a viewer who shared this next content with me, that's the traditional way. So a viewer shared this, and apparently that crumble is called posipka, maybe posipka. I don't know how to pronounce it, but posipka. And that's really supposed to be on top of your kolaches. So bravo for having such authentic kolaches.
Who knew? Hopefully, my mom went to church with the girls this morning. My oldest is singing in church today, so my mom is not watching today, which she will be very proud when she gets to see this show.
Did you know that? Did you ever call that crumble posipka?
No, I had no idea. We've always that's what you put on the kolache. It's like tradition.
Now you can teach the girls. That's so cool.
That's right.
So this is what is on your plate, Kristin. And oh my God, viewers, no licking your screen, okay?
So this is Doug's absolute favorite fall dessert. And I've not made it in a long time, but it was officially September last weekend. And he worked really, really hard last weekend. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So this is pumpkin dump cake. So you basically make pumpkin pie filling on the bottom, whatever your family recipe is. And then I have a yellow cake mix on there, but you can use spice cake or whatever. And then half of it had roasted salted pecans from Fleet Farm, because that's where you get the best nuts ever, is from Fleet Farm. And then
we've got the nuts. Sorry.
From what I hear, it might be the only thing they have these days. I hear inventory at Fleet Farm is way down. But anyway, I digress. And then I take a stick of butter and I slice it in maybe half tablespoon slices, and I place them all over the top of the pie, all over the cake mix. And then you bake it until it's done. So this probably baked for maybe 45 or 50 minutes. And then my husband, Doug, loves Cool Whip. So there's Cool Whip, and then can't see it as well right now, but there's a light dusting of cinnamon and sugar on there because, you know, sometimes you just have to be a little fancy.
That looks awesome. So there's not a crust. It's just the pumpkin pie filling on the bottom?
Yeah. This is also a fun fact for all of you. You do not need to eat crust. You don't have to have a crust to make pumpkin pie. The pumpkin pie will set up in a pan without a crust. So if you are looking for a way to cut some carbs or maybe eat a little bit healthier, you can just make the filling.
Amazing tips right here on Coffee with Kristin and Tina.
That's right. Who knew? So
that sounds awesome.
I did take a couple bites of this, but I am not like, I usually eat breakfast at like 10 or 10:30. So I couldn't eat the rest of it. I was not hungry. I'm not in that zone yet.
Yeah, you should not eat sweets if you're not hungry. Save it so that you fully savor it and enjoy it.
That is right.
Okay, Stephen was following up. We asked him to give us a suggestion of what to do in Fond Du Lac, and he said...
It's Gillies.
Gillies? Okay. Gillies?
It's a custard place.
Oh.
Do it. It's so good. There's also a really beautiful park in Fond Du Lac, and I want to say it's called Lighthouse Park, but I might be making that up. But it's right on the lakeshore of Lake Winnebago, if I'm remembering correctly, and very pretty. Lots of like walking, hiking, picnicking, that kind of stuff there.
Nice. So it sounds like Stephen is no stranger to Manitowoc. He says, I loved Hartman's Bakery when my maternal grandparents lived on North 9th. We used to go and get donuts. Nice.
Yes. He just said it's Lakeside Park. Thank you. I knew I probably didn't quite have that right.
Perfect.
So yeah, I think Hartman's is one of our favorite spots for donuts. That and Christie's in Whitelaw. If you have not had a Christie's donut, peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter and jelly donut from Christie's. Go try it. I dare ya.
Yeah, it's amazing. Hartman's has been a staple in the community since, like, I'm not sure how old Stephen was, but so it was there when he was a kid. It was definitely there when I was a kid, and I feel like it definitely predates me.
Right. So the family that owns Hartman's now has done a really cool job of updating the inside. If you have not been in there, I would highly suggest going to visit. They have the family the history of the bakery is on the wall in there now. They have a picture of what the bakery looked like and what the years were and who the owners were. So when you walk in, it's like on the back wall. So go check it out. I thought it was really cool when we were there last time.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Neat. Okay, so last time we were talking about this cryptogram at the LA Breakfast Club. Did you give this any more thought, Kristin?
No, but I knew what the answer was. And a funny thing about this is my mom texted me later in the day and she said, what was the thing on Facebook? What's the answer? And so I said to her, do you have ham? And she texted me back saying, do you really need ham? I do have ham. No, I don't need ham. That's the answer. Leave it to my mother to always have ham on hand.
That's fantastic. And I love the fact that she was like at the ready to fill the need if necessary.
Right? Okay, so run us through this.
Okay, so this is the LA Breakfast Club's famous cryptogram. So the first line says FVNEM, FVNEM, FVNEM. So it's like saying, have we any ham? If you read the letters SVFM, yes, we have ham. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
FVNEX, SVFX. Oh, I see. VFM and X. So the last one is, oh, I see. We have ham and eggs. And if I'm the only one that gets that, let me know. But I think that's awesome.
I love it. And I love your accent when you read it even more.
Am I reading it with an accent, or am I just reading the letters and it sounds like I have an accent?
Please go back and rewatch it. You will hear it, the change.
Do I turn into like a little old man when I read it?
Oh, yes. We have the ham. That's what I heard.
See, but you heard it. So there you go. It works. Awesome. So going back, we were talking about treats. And Kristin, you said it's because you worked hard. Tell us what's happening in this picture.
So I need to just make things perfectly clear. I'm nursing an ankle injury. I did not do any work as it relates to the wood. But my darling husband, I was just reading Steve's comments, sorry.
Okay, wait, and hold on a second. Can you please post that pic so I can share that pictogram? Okay, wait, hold on. Let me just take this graphic down for a quick second. Kristin, could you just read this really quickly?
FVNEM, SVFEM, FVNEX. Yeah, I know. SVFX. Oh, I see. FVMNX.
VFMNX. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
See, it comes out with an accent. Yeah, I think you can't resist.
Yeah, you can't. So anyway, last weekend, so traditionally, just like with a small group of my aunts and uncles and some of my cousins, it's kind of been a fall tradition to cut and split wood. And some of that is because they're getting, replenishing firewood from all summer. Some of it is because they have a wood burner up north and they like to have a lot of wood on hand. But anyway, this is in Manitowoc. A neighbor of my uncle, like where he grew up, has all these trees down. And so Doug and my girls and a few extra little helpers there spent all day Saturday cutting and splitting and hauling wood. And so you can see these stacks and stacks of it. So our oldest, who is not pictured in this picture, but that's a good indication of how much wood there is, worked so hard with Doug all day on Saturday, running the splitter and hauling and just doing all kinds of things. And so she got a reward, a dad date after with Cedar Crest. So I was at home getting dinner ready and Doug texted me this picture and said, hey, we stopped for a treat since we worked so hard. And I think it's so cute.
It is so cute. And at first glance, when I first saw this picture, Kristin, I thought it was you and Doug. She looks so much like you, just the smile and everything. And it's also so special, right? When you're one of multiple kids to get alone time with either mom or dad. What an awesome opportunity.
Yes. And if you go back to that picture, I want to point out, so Grace is eating Big Muddy, which is one of my personal favorites, which is dark chocolate ice cream with brownie chunks in it and like fudge. And Doug has a new flavor, which is called #love, LUV capital letters, peanut butter.
Oh.
And it is allegedly a custard. So he said it is very decadent and rich compared to some of the regular peanut butter.
Oh, so I didn't know that Cedar Crest even dabbled in custard. I thought they were all hard pack. Interesting.
That is no longer an accurate statement. They are apparently dabbling in the custard industry.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, just going back to the Big Muddy, like that dark chocolate is my favorite too.
Is it?
Even just the straight up dark chocolate is good with me. Chocolate with other chocolate bits in is great.
That's
chocolate
right.
with peanut butter, great.
By the way, just because I haven't mentioned this and it's my favorite thing to say, we are not employees or representatives of Cedar Crest Ice Cream. We just really like eating their products and supporting our local ice cream parlor.
Yeah. We're just flat out sharing our opinions.
We clearly are in a sweet streak this week.
Yes. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my God. Wouldn't this be great with a dollop of like chocolate ice cream on top?
It could be. I was thinking about Cedar Crest has cinnamon ice cream. How great would that be with like apple pie or pumpkin cake?
Or even the peanut butter ice cream that you just mentioned that Doug is eating could be awfully good with that. Yeah.
Okay.
So, how lucky are we that we live in a community that has its own ice cream factory? It's kind of like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right? Like we win.
Right. We totally win. Hey, I do have a question for you. Since you were mentioning apple pie and we've been talking about baking today, have you eaten an apple pie with cheddar cheese, either in the crust or a la mode, which in my understanding, the traditional meaning is sliced sharp cheddar cheese?
Huh. I have not, because it sounds terrible to me, but I do love cheese and fruit, right? Like cheese and, raspberry jam is great. So
Right.
I don't know why, but I cannot get past the no factor on that one.
Okay. Somebody shared with us recently that the a la mode is not actually ice cream. It is a slice of cheese.
What?
Yes.
Well, I suppose a la mode means according to the fashion, or, like
Correct.
whatever is popular.
Yes.
So in the a la mode version with the cheese, is there also ice cream, or is it just cheese and pie in that instance?
Cheese and apple pie.
And you like this, it looks like?
I have not tried it. I just am curious about if you have.
I haven't. Would you try it?
Oh, sure, I would try it. I mean, I love sharp cheddar cheese with like an apple slice. Like it's super good together. It's umami-esque.
Nice word.
Crunchy and creamy. Like the apple is crunchy and creamy, and it's sweet and savory, and like it hits on a lot of yummy notes. So umami, if you have not heard that word, you have to look it up. It is like the extraterrestrial experience of eating food perfectly balanced.
Yes, totally, for the flavor.
Yes. Flavor and
perfect
texture,
combination
right?
of flavors. Yeah, right. I suppose it's all of that.
Yeah, it's a full sensory experience.
So interesting. All right, so apple pie and cheese. I don't know. I just feel like I love apple pie so much, and I love cheese so much.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I love them together.
So someone that I know that really, really loved this, that is no longer with us, but when I grew up, my babysitter's husband always ate apple pie with a slice of cheese on it, and he was Polish. So again, we're still in that same region of Europe we've been kind of talking about, but maybe it's a Polak.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, viewers, do you have an opinion? Do you like cheese on your apple pie? Let me know if it's something that you've tried, and or if you recommend it, or if you would like not touch it with a 10-foot pole. I would love to know, because the next time there's an opportunity that's presented, maybe I should just go for it. So at least I know, right? So at least I know what I'm talking about.
Maybe your mom will show up at your house next Monday with a sharp cheddar cheese crust apple pie.
Oh, my mom makes the absolute best apple pie. It's like my favorite apple pie in the world. I just don't know that I could put cheese on it. But Mom, you could try.
We'll find out.
We'll have to have 2 slices in this case, one without and one with, and do a proper taste test.
Okay. You keep us posted.
Do you want to hear my apple pie confession?
Yeah.
So a couple of years ago, we were down in southern Wisconsin, and we were at this really nice kind of shop that had like a lot of organic stuff, and there was a little restaurant, and they were like famous for their pies, and they had these amazing slices of apple pie, but they were like $8 a slice or something, and I was like, oh, I just don't know if I can justify like laying down that amount for a slice of pie, right? And just when I was thinking about it, all of a sudden somebody came out and they're like, the pie eating contest starts in 5 minutes if you're in this apple pie eating contest. I'm like, oh yes, I'm in. And it was one of those kind of like at the county fair where you have to eat the cream puff with no hands.
Yes.
That's exactly what it was for the apple pie. But I was like, okay, I'm not in it to win it. I am in it to eat this pie. So even though I had to do it hands behind my back, faced in the pie, I just totally savored every bite. It was awesome. Totally worth it.
Was it a whole pie or a piece?
Oh, a big slice. Big slice.
And how much did you finish? Or did you just like take delicate bites, and then when it got done, you like took your plate and you're like, thank you very much.
Yes. I ate the whole thing. Just without a fork. It's my first time ever eating a slice of pie without a fork.
Hey, you might be onto something.
It was so worth it. So I got the pie.
I feel like that's an answered prayer. Like you have these thoughts that you've put into the universe, and somebody says, here you go. Allow me to answer answer your question.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Okay. Patricia says, no, thank you. Love cheese, love apple pie, but not together.
Okay.
She
Well,
gets me.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing when you have a thought and then the universe like provides an answer?
Yes. I love when that happens. I feel like it happens a lot.
One of my favorite quotes is that the universe is always conspiring in your favor.
Oh, I do love that. Actually, I had a thought this morning. If we can pause for a moment. I have a number of family, friends, acquaintances struggling with family members who are sick or in the process of passing. And so we've been like updating our prayer board at home and trying to support them. And I had this thought this morning, like, I feel like our life is full of blessings. We have great energy. There's a lot of just really great stuff happening. And I think about when you're in that moment with a family member who is not well or is in the kind of the process of passing away, how dark it is. And like, if you have somebody today that might need a text message or writing a note card or something, like, think about how meaningful it could be to like write a note and just lift that person up a little bit. So when you're in a moment of great energy, like how can you help lift somebody else up in their moment where they might need some support?
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right.
Sorry, I know
it's a really good thought, Kristin.
An about face turn, but as I was getting ready this morning, that was something like, man, today's a great day. I get to talk to Tina, which every Tuesday is great when I get to talk to Tina and like all these things. And then I kind of had this like reflection point, like there's people really struggling today or working on something that's really hard. And so it always makes me think like, oh, when I'm in that moment, I'm like, okay, who can I reach out to right now and just say, hey, I'm thinking about you. I got you.
And sometimes that makes all the difference. I mean, I can't tell you the number of times that I've been just a little down or something, and all of a sudden a card shows up in the mail or somebody sends a text, and it just, it can send you over the moon at the right moment.
Absolutely. So send somebody over the moon today.
Yeah, I love it. And you mentioned Tuesdays. We should just mention next week, because we are both moms and entrepreneurs and we've got to take care of those things first. Next week, we're going to be coming to you on Wednesday morning. So next week, look for us on Wednesday, same time, 8:30, same bat time, same bat channel, just a different day.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Wednesday, midweek, hump day.
Hump day. Hope you can join us. Hey, I went for a walk this weekend out to the lighthouse. It was so incredibly beautiful, and it was amazing to see the number of people out there. Mm-hmm. And I spied these cranes. They were so beautiful. I don't remember when I like growing up ever seen these around, and now I feel like more and more often we're getting kind of graced with their beauty, and to just get a close-up view was amazing.
Yeah, I love all the color variation in their feathers, and their heads are a little bit on the red side. I do have heard that like the crane population is up. Like somebody tell me. I feel like maybe there's even a hunting season for cranes.
What?
Yes.
Huh.
I'll see if I can find.
Yeah, I hope that they're not hunted. I mean, I guess if they're delicious or something, it makes sense, but
it's like geese and ducks and chickens.
And I suppose, speaking of sightings, I also rode my bike the other day, and I was just sitting on a bench right along the lake, kind of by that wayside past the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
And I saw, then all of a sudden this like black and like sort of white thing started soaring towards me. I'm like, what in the world? And so I'm like checking it out. And then all of a sudden it's checking me out, and it's a bald eagle. And we're like eye to eye, just like watching each other. I was like, what? Right along Lake Michigan. I've never seen that before.
Did you hear like that in your head? As it was coming
oh, in my head, yes. Yeah, and I was also like, please don't eat me. But
right. Can you go back to your picture really quick?
Yes.
Yeah, Steve, we have talked about the pelicans before. I do not remember pelicans as a child. That is definitely new. Right. So I just want to give a shout out to Tina once again. Like, your photography skills are so amazing. I'm sure like you just have such an eye for this, but like the purple flowers in the picture, how the cranes are perfectly up, how the geese, like their necks are perfectly curved over, the reflection on the water. Like, you have such a great eye for this.
Thanks. They paid really good attention in dress rehearsal.
Did they?
No, I'm kidding. Thank you. Thank you for that high compliment. I really, really appreciate that.
So pretty. I love your shots. You have the other one. You have like a picture of it looks like a pelican that didn't want its picture taken.
Yeah. So this is apparently a heron, and this guy looks beautiful, right? Like, I love how his beak is, out and strong, and now I don't know if this is the same heron, or because I took one on my way out and one on my way back, but if you can see this guy, look at how terrifying he is. Does somebody know, like, do herons have a second eyelid? Is he like sleeping, or is this guy's eye damaged, or what is up with this brooding vampire look? It's terrifying.
Yeah, he does not look well. He looks very angry.
And he's got like the tufts of hair standing up on his head, and
his hair is like all messed up, and his eye looks like an alligator almost, where like one eyelid closes down and one eyelid goes from like left to right, or how like I think alligators do that or crocodiles do that. But yeah, he does not look very happy with whatever is going on.
Yeah, because if you compare it to this guy, this guy's eyes wide open.
Yeah.
So I just don't know if this is normal or if that's, but yeah, I showed it to my son and he's like, that is a brooding vampire.
I think maybe he has a sleeping mask on. He's like, I'm going to sleep now, thank you.
Yeah, I wonder. Oh, thanks, Janice, for saying she said, I enjoy your topics, comments, and humor. Have a good day. Same to you. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Yeah. Okay, so Tina.
Yes.
You have one more picture. We've been working on this kayak solution for you.
Yes.
And my very amazing cousin Nicole chimed in last week and said, golf cart, which again, you live in the town of Manitowoc, so this might be an option for you. I found a really great picture. And I think it was actually a video. If you see that, it's from YouTube. I'll give proper shout outs. But I mean, I think this is also a legit thing. And I really appreciate that he has his safety screen on the front of his golf cart so that he doesn't get bugs in his eyes when he's driving.
And look he hasn't even strapped it to the cart or anything. He's literally just hanging on with his own power.
Got it. It's fine.
Now, truth be told, I have brought some big items like home from the home renovation store, right? Like I brought a door home once like that in the back of the car holding on to it, but I don't know if I could go very far with a kayak like this.
I mean, you just got to get down like the walking path to the river. I feel like it'll be fine.
I love all of these solutions.
I just am really trying to give you some great options. That's all.
The funny thing is I don't even have a kayak yet. So now I need to find a kayak because now I know how to transport it.
There you go. Next step, find Tina a kayak.
Yeah, there we go. I'm looking for like an 8-foot one, something small and easily handleable just for rivers and inland lakes.
Just something tiny.
Is that too much to ask?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I think it's great.
Cool. Well, this has been so much fun. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us, joining in the conversation. It really makes it special. We're looking forward. We'll see you next week on Wednesday. Kristin, I love the fact that we both brought snacks. I hope that you enjoy yours.
When I get home from work today, Kath Tees just said she has a few 8-foot kayaks you can borrow. That's pretty nice of her.
Kath, you are so awesome. Thanks for saying that.
She is awesome. Yes,
Kath, what would you think about transporting it on top of a golf cart?
I'm going to eat this when I get home from work today. It's going to be my afternoon snack.
That is like the perfect motivation for working hard, isn't it?
It's like vegetables. So I feel like that's, or fruit.
Look, you've got the vegetables in the pumpkin. You've got the dairy in the cream. You've got the, I don't know, what's in the nuts. Yeah, you've got the nuts. That's a full meal. That's awesome.
Maybe don't take nutrition advice from Tina and I.
Yeah, when Kath says do it, she's not talking about the nutrition advice. She's talking about the kayak on the golf cart. That's awesome.
I know. I'm with you. All right, guys, have a great day. It's been a pleasure. You guys have been a fabulous audience today.
Absolutely. So much fun talking with you, Kristin. We'll see you next time on Coffee with Kristin and Tina.